Speaking of which, shaking up the industry of lotto in the state of Mississippi. Back is Tom Shaheen. Tom, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Good to have you again.
It's nice to be back.
And you're getting close, 30 days out?
30 days, June 30th.
And then you'll be free to move about the cabin.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, introducing the new incoming president of the Mississippi Lottery Corporation in the great state of Mississippi. It will be Jeffrey Hewitt.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jeffrey. How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you.
A little bit closer to the mic there,
Sure.
but a little bit about you. You're not new. I mean, you're not a new model. You just didn't come in fresh. You've been here for a while.
I've been here for a while. Yeah, I started June 24th in 2019.
Now, you know this guy for a while. You guys
have. Tom and I have known each other for
Did you
about
work with him in
30
Florida?
years. Yeah, and I still followed him here, so yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So you've been here as long as he's
And
been
he came
here.
to Georgia, too.
Then,
He was in
I
Georgia.
followed him
we
to
were in
Georgia.
together for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Well, is there a house next door when he retires to you?
I don't think he wants to live next door.
I think he decided to retire to get rid of me, is why he's doing.
Now, Jeffrey, you're from where originally?
Originally from Indiana.
Are
Grew
you?
up in northwest Indiana. Not
You've
too
been
far from
involved in
Chicago.
the lotto business for as long as he has?
We both started in Florida at the same time. Different parts of the state, but yeah, we started in Florida.
So your job has been what so far during this period of time?
Since I've been here, Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing.
And so you know the ins and outs of this.
Yeah, pretty well. I mean, of that particular
Yeah.
portion of the job, sure.
Well, so when Tom leaves, you got to look back. So both of you guys had a hand in this at a tremendously successful. When you look back and review where we've been in this short period of time, you got to be pleased with that.
Oh yeah, it's been amazing. To be honest with you, I don't think anybody, even Tom, initially would have thought that we are where we are now. It's gone really well.
Tom, what did you have to base it on? You could go back because Mississippi, as a state, has its own ups and downs. But you look at the total household income and things like that, and you just hope for the best.
Yeah, and basically all you have to look at startup is similar size states that have lotteries, and you try to look at the things that they've done and how well they've done, and then you look at a new state like Mississippi that was surrounded. It had Tennessee, Arkansas, and Louisiana, so you end up having to factor that in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and you also hear a lot of things about Mississippi. Are the people smart enough to even go play it? And are the vendors smart enough to handle the computers? And you hear all of these things, but that was a surprise to most of you.
I don't think that was. That wasn't a surprise as much, especially with the retailers, is how engaging the retailers were here compared to the other states that we've been in. They were ready. They were dropping their applications off. They were hand delivering them to them.
Yeah.
So they were very engaged, and they've just done a tremendous job.
What state that in the word in the business is probably as a startup has had a difficult time?
Well, I hope nobody's listening, but Arkansas had a challenge at the start.
Really?
Yeah.
So we beat Arkansas. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just.
Yeah, you're trying to stir up.
Yeah,
trouble.
come on. Yes.
They'll have to find me.
Just tell us.
I'm going into
Tell us. Those
secrets,
rednecks
whatever
over
it
there,
is. Yeah.
we look a lot better than those rednecks in Arkansas. That's all. I want to hear that. Where do we take it from now, Jeffrey? I mean, what's next?
We're still on a great course. So we're still new lottery. So we're still really introducing our base games. So right now we've just got new games coming out. I think we're looking at maybe a pick four type game to come out next, more than likely.
Do you get to a point where there are too many games?
I'm not sure that you do. If you look at some of the surrounding states, you look at Georgia and some of those, they have a lot of different games out on the online side. And, of course, the instant side always has new games coming out.
But Tom, do people, if they've got limited dollars, do they just switch from Powerball to another one?
Sometimes you'll see so much crossover, but it usually what happens when you add a new game, it may take away from another game, but when you take the sum total of the two games and it's more, then you've got your victory.
Scratch Off been a success here?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Has it?
Yep.
When you look at where the so-called, in the old days we used to call them service stations that don't service you anymore, now they're convenience stores, and if you look at where that's going to be in 20 years, they may need the lottery because there might not be any gas for people with the electric movement. So that's, you never think about that, but they are looking for some extra revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to call them gas stations.
Back in the old days, gas stations or
service stations. I never said that.
Well, we got service back in those days. Remember the Sinclair
the guy?
That
did your windshield? He cleaned your windshield for you?
I did that as a young man. I did that at a gas station for one summer.
Oh.
And it was actually 2 summers. And the most amazing thing back in those days is where was the gas tank in some of the models. And then one that always got me was the one in the headlight.
Oh, I didn't know about that. They used to have one under the
license.
rear license
one
plate.
under the
Pull it
license.
down, kept getting your hand caught there all the time.
Somebody's going to catch me on this on C-Spire text line. Perez, you remember that? There was one that was under
a headlight,
behind, not a headlight, a tail light.
Oh, okay.
By a tail light. There was one, and I kept.
I don't remember the car, but I remember it being there.
Probably Colombo's Peugeot or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it was. We have anything that we're ready to roll out very soon now?
I'm glad you asked. So I happen to bring a couple. Tom always says, always bring samples to a radio show.
Well, no.
So
listen, it's
you're
not a radio
online.
show
I know,
anymore.
you're online. And the great thing is with these, you can go to our website too. But Elvis, I think Tom mentioned that last time around. That's a $5 instant game is coming out, and that starts to go on sale tomorrow.
So that hasn't happened yet.
That hasn't happened yet.
So we've got the first
It'll
look
be
at
out
Elvis.
tomorrow. Yes, indeed.
Well, can I take a picture of this before you leave? No, we'll do one.
Sure, absolutely. And it's on our website too. MS.
Oh, I got you. Now the other one is what?
Other one is Money Roll. That's a $2 ticket, and that'll be out tomorrow as
the
well.
Elvis is how much?
$5 ticket.
$5 ticket.
Yep. Chance to win $100,000.
Is that the thin Elvis or the fat Elvis?
This was the
the early Elvis.
He looks pretty good. I think that was like the 80s.
Isn't that the Hawaii Elvis?
Is that Hawaii?
No, you know what? That's when he was sitting
Is that the
around
comeback
with all his
Elvis?
guys.
Yeah, that was on a little round stage.
Yeah, on his little round.
So that would
Remember
be
that,
the
Paul?
Singer.
That would be the 69.
Was that the Singer
comeback
brought to you
deal.
by Singer or whatever it was?
Yes. Yes.
So in other words, the next game will be the fat Elvis, and that'll cost $10.
We don't.
It's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, well, we've got some other games coming out
What
if
is
you want
that?
to talk about them.
Yes, please do. We do have more games coming out.
Yeah, we'll always have more games.
Yeah, we
coming
will.
out, Yeah.
We have any big winners? I mean, we've had some pretty good winners in the state. We don't have them often, but we do. We don't mention them often, but we've had some $1 million and below
we
that.
Have. We had 100,000 not too long ago.
Yeah.
We had 100,000 maybe last week, but our Mississippi Match 5
Meg
game,
is with us too, by the way. Good morning.
Hello.
Meg.
But our latest draw game, Mississippi Match 5, that jackpot was hit 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that was $55,000, and the winner actually got his picture taken and all that sort of stuff. So that was exciting.
The Match 5 is now up to $194,000. $194,000.
Yeah.
And we thought it was going to be easy just to Match 5.
Yeah.
Now the Match 3, it's not 3 individual numbers. You could have consecutive numbers. You could have, because the other day we had 266 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It can be triple.
So
Same numbers, yeah.
that increases the odds for you guys' favor.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's the same odds all the way through the game,
One way or
regardless
the
of
other,
the
you got to pick a
combination.
number. You got to pick a number.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But there's different ways to win, though. It's just not to win on that specific number.
Well, let's talk some of money, how much money has been in so far, and we'll talk about that when we come back. And again, welcoming in Jeffrey Hewitt, who's the new guy, and Tom Shaheen on his final 30 days. And Meg's here, back with another set. All right, let me get back to Jeff Hewitt and also to Tom Shaheen, and Meg is in the house here, and we were talking about a multitude of different things. I do want to ask you about the digital thing, because this is always something that is front and center. And Jeff, where are we going to go with that in the next? Do we have to have legislative mandate for this, or?
I believe that we would have to have some different legislation for us to be able to do that.
And how high is that sophistication now as far as the app itself? What can you do with that?
Well, there's an app which for us we're looking at, which is pretty much a convenience app, which is you can go there, you can look at your numbers, you can scan your instant tickets to see if they're winners. You can't make purchases with that app.
So, but the app will let you scan it.
The app will let you scan the instant tickets, the one we're looking at. Yeah.
I would, but you can't get paid there.
You don't get paid. It's just an informational app at this point.
Boy, the vendors would probably like that.
Well, it could be, but you still have to go to the retailer to get paid.
Let me say this, because I've never said this before in this, and I learned as we did the first few scratch offs. Because I think in Mississippi we are nice people with the hospitality and everything else, and we hate to go in and somebody's at a convenience store, they're trying to pay for gas, they're trying to get their coffee or whatever it happens to be, and you've sitting there with some lottery tickets, and I think we're cognizant of that. But one of the things that I learned is, and they were very nice to tell you, scratch off the bar, and we don't say that. And for you folks who don't know this and you do scratch offs, if you've won, go on and scratch off the bar on the bottom. And how do you tell them where it is? It's
in
right
different
places.
Of the ticket.
It's on the bottom of the ticket.
There's latex over it, and they do
it's
that.
It's a bar scan.
What that does, though, it takes away from the fun of playing. Okay, if you're not going to scratch off the ticket to see if you match three like symbols or you don't match numbers to your numbers and their numbers, then that. I know people do that. I don't see that as a very fun and entertaining way of playing it, because then we have scanners in the store, so they can scan it to see if it's a winner.
Well, they can't scan it without that bar being scratched off. So that's what I'm saying. When you go in there, if you're taking a ticket in to redeem, have that pre-scratched off so they don't have to do it.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if you're trying to get in and out of there, they have to do that for you. And I think most of them will naturally. I've had one of them tell me, just if you don't mind, scratch it off. Yeah. But that saves them a lot of time, especially if you're lucky enough to have more than one.
Yeah.
But
you're
just
right.
I thought I'd mention that.
We've had that feedback where players say, I go up and I buy what I know because I don't want to hold anybody up.
Yeah.
So you're right. I mean, they are very courteous.
Pre-scratch your ticket's barcode.
And you can check them at the ticket checkers. You don't even have to get in line to have them checked if you do.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's why we put them
yourself.
there.
We have a
you can
ticket
scan
checker in the
see.
store.
Yeah.
All right, so there were some other things, but the app, that's something the app will do. But to be able to play over the Internet on your phone some states are able to do that.
Yes, they are. There's about 10 states now that do that. But to be clear, we don't have an app at this point.
Right.
That is something we're working at the future. Again, it's non-transactional. It's just all information.
And you believe that would probably take some legislative mandate to do, or legislative action.
I think we need to
that.
talk to the legislature about it. The Lottery Act doesn't really address that piece. Okay, it addresses selling on apps, on monitors, things of that nature. So this is just going to be for winning numbers and new scratch-off games, and verify if your ticket was scan it to see if it's a winner.
I understand that.
Just a more user-friendly version of our website on your phone.
Back to the being able to play over the Internet or make a bet over the Internet. Does that hurt walk-in traffic too, though?
Some states, so far, it has not affected the retailers at all, and there are ways to get the retailers involved in the process. Now, since we are not close to doing anything like that or going to the legislature to see if we can do anything like that, I don't have a whole lot of information on it now. But so far, it's been successful in 9 or 10 other states, and what I have been told from fellow lottery directors that they're not getting any negative feedback from the retailers.
Let me throw a number at you here. Let's just say that I went into Acme convenience store and I won the $253 million, and I took the cash option of 172.7. What does the retailer make out of that?
If the retailer sold that winning ticket,
right? If they sold that winning ticket, what does the retailer make?
Yeah, we have a bonus program for them, so that they'll get a flat amount of money. Is that off
the record to know, or is that would it help? I mean, is it based on the amount of money?
No, it's one amount of money.
Oh, is that right? Okay, it's not a percentage or something like that.
No,
I got you. You do have some of the retailers are actually now casinos. Most of them out there sell tickets.
Well, as Jeff was saying, I believe there's 12. We do have interest from another 4 right now. We're not at liberty to discuss that because we've just had a couple discussions, and they've said that they would be interested, but we can't say their names at this point.
Only got a couple of minutes left. Can we go over some numbers, though, because we were talking about numbers earlier, and and we've said this before, I don't want to be redundant about it, but we had people on the program saying that $80 million is a lot to expect, and you people are just playing with us, saying that education is going to get over $80 million. They'll never get any money, and not quite so. Is it right, Jeff?
Yeah, not quite so. I think right now we're up to about just under $115 million. So you're looking at that $35 million that's gone
to
education.
Yeah.
And as far as sales, we're looking. I mean, we have a very good possibility that we will exceed or hit at least $500 million in sales this fiscal year, which is just astounding.
That is absolutely amazing. Well, we got to the end of June, so
end of June, it's looking pretty good.
It does work on a fiscal year basis.
Correct.
All right, Tom. To wrap this up, what's your final thoughts, sir?
What's my final what? My beer.
Your final thoughts.
Oh, my final thoughts.
Now the
about you
like
or about the lottery, or what do you want to know?
Yeah, so that sounds like the hearse.
I can go a lot of different directions.
Sounds like the hearse is in the parking lot. I didn't mean it like that. So.
Well, no. Listen, it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience for me.
You're going to miss these summers, buddy.
I'm going to miss this humidity.
Pure 100% pure humidity.
And that was nice every day. In the first summer I was here, it rained every day, so and it's still raining here. But no, I've enjoyed this. It's been a great experience. Again, it's been very successful, and it took a lot of people to do it. And now it's time for me to ride off in the sunset. I know you got your country music. Maybe you can play that while I'm talking.
But here's
give it a little.
Here's the other part of that. You're going to where the grandkids are. Is that right?
Yes.
I
don't know if that's good or bad yet.
No.
Grandkids are good to see every now and then, but if I have to start seeing them every day, I'm not so sure.
Let me just say this: their energy level is going to be a hell of a lot more than you're going to be able to muster.
Oh.
So somewhere down the line, you're going to say,
I can still run a 30-minute mile. So I mean,
I don't care. They can run it. They can run it faster. And they expect you to carry them on your back anyway. So,
well.
But the other part of that, you'll probably be calling Jeff and saying, Jeff, you got anything down there for me?
Yeah.
At least 6 months a year. Jeff, it's good to meet you, sir. Anything we can do in the future, please let us know. Stay in touch. And we always like to have Tom in at least once every month and a half or so, or when something has happened, you and Meg. So please, we have an open mic here.
Would you want me back for any guest appearances like in 6
absolutely.
months?
As a matter of fact, you can be our consultant.
There you go. Yours for the show, you mean?
Yeah, you can be the casino. I mean the lotto consultant.
There you go.
You could come in with some ideas about what numbers are going to be picked.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good
all you can do
thing.
is we could call you from the grandkids location.
I'll let the kids answer you.
All you have to do is say 6, 24, 30. You would be good at the bingo game. So
you think so? A caller? You mean like the caller guy?
Yeah. The caller guy.
I'll look into that. Because I'm going to be in Arizona, and I think they got a lot of bingo out there for some people that are our age.
Meg, you think that the working with this guy and his sense of humor has been something that has made you a better person?
Well, my voice is sort of gone right now, so that's a hard question to answer.
That means she didn't want to answer your question because her voice is gone.
No, it's been great.
That.
I have lost my voice a whole bunch working under you, though, so I don't know if that's
that might have had something to do with it. Jeffrey, when you said you were from Indiana?
Yes, sir.
You got kids?
I do.
They're back there, or
actually, we live in Georgia.
In Georgia,
We're in Georgia, Augusta.
It's been kind of turbulent in Georgia for a while now, hasn't it? As far as a lot of things going on over there. So,
yeah,
we won't get into politics. All I know is some wisdom that some people are talking about.
Ugh, I gotta get the hell out of Georgia.
I thought that was one of your ringtones.
Guys, always a pleasure, sir. Don't be a stranger. Meg, thank you.
Appreciate it.